The San Antonio Zoo has a very big responsibility when it comes to taking care of black bears, tigers, and hippopotamus. Black bears can be found throughout Alaska, Canada, northern Mexico, and much of the USA. They are often found in forested and mountainous regions. They can also be found near swampy areas. They often make dens in hollow trees or caves for shelter. The San Antonio Zoo provides the bears with a habitat of dig pits, dead trees to play with, pools, smell ports, and grassy areas that give the bears the opportunity to be bears, to dig, scratch, smell, and swim. They even have an extra building or room next to the outside habitat that allows them to enter at any time, like when it's cold or raining and they don't want to be outside. The bears are used to having plenty of bushes or shrubs in the wild that provide them with vegetation, so the zoo will occasionally bring in some shrubs and fruit and give it to the bears so that they can associate it with the wild. Interactions only come from interactions with the same species, and sometimes they interact with similar species as well. The crazy thing is that they sometimes come from people. All those times that you're looking at bears, well, they're getting something out of it because you're interacting with them. This picture is another example. The tiger's habitat at the zoo is also similar to their environment in the wild. Tigers live in a number of habitats, including mountains, rainforest, and even deciduous forests. Tigers like forests because of the water source. They also like forests because of the shade and that big supply of animals such as deer on which they prey on. The majority of wild tigers live on the continent of Asia. Tigers are carnivores, that is, they're meat eaters. They will go where the food source is, surviving on the meat of deer, pigs, and other forest-dwelling creatures. Gross. In the zoo, the tigers are given the same habitat as a bear would have. As far as their nutrition goes in the zoo, the tigers are given a weekly diet consisting of animals that have passed away in the zoo. How gross is that? They actually provide the feedings just like the diet that they would have in their wild. They feed them only deboned meat for 5 days, then they give them a meal of pure bones the next day, and the last day they don't give them anything because that's exactly what a tiger would do in their own environment. Interaction is quite different for tigers. The females with their cubs are separated from the male. The male usually likes to be left alone, so interaction is not something that they depend on for survival. They normally don't care for human interaction either. The hippos at the zoo have a very interesting habitat. Being semi-aquatic animals, they tend to spend 80% of the time lazing in the water bodies and come out for feeding only after dusk. At the zoo, the hippos are given land, but they are mainly in a huge aquarium that is filled with tropical fish. The zoo must maintain the water temperature at about 68 degrees because the tropical fish require that temperature for their survival. The fish in the aquarium are there for the purpose of cleaning the hippos of any algae on their bodies. They are also there as toothbrushes to clean the hippos' teeth of any bacteria that they may have. In the wild, the hippopotamus feeds on a variety of vegetation that grows in sub-Saharan Africa. Their diet predominantly consists of grass, but they are also known to feed on fruits, leaves, nuts, and things like that. Being semi-aquatic, these creatures also feed on several aquatic plants and reeds that are found in their natural habitat. In the San Antonio Zoo, hippos are given the same diet as in the wild. They even supplement the vegetation they are not getting in the wild with daily vegetation pellets. Hippos are not very big on interacting with any other species other than their own. They are said to be extremely dangerous to humans, so zookeepers are extra careful around them, of course. All in all, these 3 animals all have certain adaptations that they need to go through in order for survival in the San Antonio Zoo. I am glad that the zoo is doing everything that they can do to make sure that these animals are happy and that they're taken care of while they're in captivity.